Hi everyone. This is about Jesus too, or I think I might be pretty damn close to the one, but yeah. I'm not saying that my friend Jesus Christ isn't Jesus himself, because he kind of imitates me anyways. Playing with his face. I'm not much of a technical and really pose orator, how could you say, or actor. I touch my face a lot and do lots of mistakes because I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. No. So yeah, this is about how why Jesus is insane. I thought that was pretty funny when he talked about insanity, because I'm kind of insane. Like the cat says that in Alice, we're all mad here, 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 in the alpha. Um, so yeah, why is Jesus mad, and why would I be Jesus? I guess. Well, on my side, um, I'm the person that I have been kept open and been it most of my life. It always ended up being me, the subject being posed or taking pictures of, or dragged in the corner and laughed at, or I used to be a little winner when I was young. I was really performant and amongst the first all the time. So what happened to me was the best operation. What they would do to best people, what they call the best. And I was not too far from being the best. I was the king of the mountain and playing in the snow. And yeah, that's being under attack and at war and in the Christian system. Well, being Jesus was a little bit dangerous, don't you think? Because last time they saw Jesus, well, they tried to kill him. No, they killed him. So, twice. So, yeah, logically, I would come to think that Jesus would have had it kind of rough if he's still alive. Because that scapegoating system where people pick somebody out randomly and make them it all the time, and it's never the person that chooses that becomes it. For those who don't know, there's even a book about it. It's Stephen King. He compares it to Pennywise, an evil clown that jokes about stuff that hurts, stuff that gets you sick, stuff that aren't fun, that when it happened to you, and that might be coming from violence, beatings, knives, all those little double sentences that mean an accident, but that kind of suggest that it can happen to you. Those kind of comments, that's the clown, the intimidating comments. It's the Pennywise clown. It's Ronald McDonald. It's the redhead clown with the Mick. It's Irish, fighting Irish style. You know, that scares you whenever you're being freely in yourself, actually. So that's the whole scapegoating system, and that happens to Jesus. And on my part, if you take me to a concert, if there's 20 people or 20,000 people, there's always me in the middle of the crowd flashing like a stroboscope, and flash at every snare drum, or every click or clack or tick, a little faint noise. I flash, I become noticeable like a strobe. And like if you're at a Slipknot show when that happens, well, that makes you the sacrifice. So yeah, and then you got all those psychopathic weirdos that haunt you the rest of your life until you kill yourself, or the Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's on your back your whole life. She's your best friend. She's your little girl. So when you're a marginal, I grew up being marginal. I had long rastas down to my bum. So, sorry, I had to blow my nose. So yeah, I had interest in marginal and anarchy, equality, peace. Um One of my first nice shirts I got was a Grateful Dead T-shirt. I don't know, it's because I was one of the chosen ones or something like that. That I'd be leading a death path all my life. The skull with something in the head, the Grateful Dead. But coming to think of it, with all the acid they sold, I don't know if his friend of the devil was a friend of his. If he wasn't more friends with the devil than with us, because a lot of popular bands made it through, like the Exploited, Nazis, Sex Pistols. They rotted Johnny Rotten rotted the whole punk movement down with his rotten lyrics, and Sid Vicious took them to Amsterdam to try out junk with their movie they made about junkies. So the path of a punk and a Rastaman and a hippie is loaded with death and party and all these nice people that befriend you and that just want to be a traitor one day. They just want to win your confidence in order to betray you and gain something personally for the ego. So yeah, I think that Jesus didn't get it easy. Bless you. Yeah, and kiss. Yeah, I forgot to give you a kiss. Tomorrow you can wear a black scarf if you want, or after this video. They always change profile pictures when I say hi or I do a like on Facebook. The next day they have a new profile picture. So I bless people all the time. I'm contagious. But it's always for the good, and it's for anarchic principles and equality and power to the people. I skip on women to follow my convictions. Whenever I go out, there's all this scenario happening that we have to stop and change and transform. Everything's becoming fascist. The Christianity is fascist. It's intimidation. It's showing a dead body on a board that they killed. That was an emblem of good. Christians killed Christ, for Christ's sake. So get rid of that bad religion. The religion is screwing the whole 9 yards. That's what I think that's why I'm here to tell you. And you know, like this Madonna. It says Rebel Heart. I'm a tattoo artist, and I've had these weird spells cast on my hands and my way of working that would drag me down to being tired all the time. Something wrong with the tires, and so that would keep me wired on speed all the time. My life's been a highway. They kept me high as much as they could in order to kill me. So I survived the Kraken, and the Heroes Inn. And I made it out of the Hotel California on the horse with no name. And all those songs, that's what they're talking about. That's the bird language. Yeah, that's why when I start saying weird stuff, it's because it comes from the bird language, the context, the second meaning of words when you mix them up with anagrams and graphemes and parts of words, the ending of the first one and the beginning of the last one, and you make up another sentence, or another sentence makes itself up because the person talking to you, her subconscious, means the subliminal part. So you'll catch, if you think about it, well, you'll get the subliminal message consciously that's hidden in phrases and the order of words and the sequence and all that. The way they make spells. We learn how to spell. Spell it is, it's not called spelling for nothing. We actually do spells. That I got this magical in July. When I think the pyramid flipped upside down, I got this terribly magical episode. I was floating on pink souls, and fucking the earth every step, and everybody would grow illuminated, and it was really weird. What is going wrong with me? How come everybody falls in paradise when they cross me? We fall on this cushion, and whoa, it's love everywhere, and people all sat down in a concert and kind of bowed down, and the colors went white to black to white again, as if we'd be voting for peace or for some sort of savior or something. I don't know. My Rastas made me some sort of Bob Marley, the Lion from Zion. I've been blessed by that music and believed in those principles and smoked the ganja and all that because it was the Word of God a bit that Bob Marley would give us, all that loving and all that. So he conquered the world with a simple song, and they got the Kraken into Jamaica, and they got rid of that whole Rasta movement with crack. It's putting the foot up in Panama. It was the CIA that let that in, supposedly, but pretty sure. Like they got rid of Che Guevara. That he's a true center like me. I have political convictions. I am an enemy of the state because I am an anarchist, and an anarchist is not an enemy of the state. An anarchist tries to organize the state in order to give power to the people and maintain equality. It's a bit socialist, but it's a bit rightist too, I think. Yes, because it implicates lots of people, and capitalism does not want a socially organized society that thrives on energy. Breathe in, wake up, energy all over. Okay, the wall cuts up that energy. Seems like crazy stuff. There's a wall on my chest. Yes, there's a wall on your chest. I'll get to this mental illness soon, but that's why I was showing that Madonna picture. No, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'm listening to grindcore, death metal, Rasta people. Did you notice they all became grindcore freaks and punkers and hardcore motherfuckers? And no, they don't motherfuck though. They something discouraged them. TV or society with the words that affect them turn their libido. My libido, a mosquito. Well, the libido's off when you're a marginal. There's a curse on you. You notice all these nice. You rarely see a hippie couple. We were made to get split up. That's the blacklist. That's the Christ list. They were splitting the Christ up for him not to have his apostles, not for all of his good friends were driven off with craziness, paranoia, and fear, and harassment. They harass you. It's narcissistic manipulation, and the narcissists go so far that they scare you with organized crime when they're just lying to you and they have nothing to do with it. they'll pretend they're a hell's angel, and you'll get those messages in your head, and they'll try to scare you with that. So the narcissists become fascists, working for using extreme right principles of fear and how you say that's how they manipulate you, by finding what you don't like, or what you're trying not to say, or with fear, or with a bad sensation you don't like, so that you'll avoid, so they'll keep you off track, bugging you with that. They manage to get into your head. So this is where the crazy stuff starts. I've done multiple psychosis because of speed, but it was always when I would quit the speed that I'd fall into psychosis. Isn't that weird? Not while I was using the drug, and I'd use it every day. It barely affected me, and yeah, it's just a maintain serotonin and dopamine kind of thing. You still lose it. You're not even speeded up like when you drink coffee. Don't ever do that. That's a trap. It's like vaping and smoking. It's a bad habit that's really hard to stop. You can do some at work and nobody notice you're on speed, and so it's so easy to hide and to slip everywhere. It's this cane you don't need. I had big problems. I had big problems with that, and got sequels and all that. And when I was in psychosis, what I kept noticing is that I was aware of what my subconscious mind and unconscious mind were doing for me or for other people, while I normally don't notice all those things I do unconsciously, or when I'm in the mood. When French is dans la lune is where you're daydreaming. That's a theta mode, or a alpha mode, a mind state, a brainwave state that you must attain in order to become clairvoyant and to see what people are thinking and what they're focusing their energy on. To see what's it, you'll see it'll flash. You have to lower your frequency in order to get into alpha. See, I'm trying to make you love the alpha. The alpha, it's when you see the atmosphere. You kind of see air, and it kind of shifts to white or black in the around, and it kind of gets cloudy, and you get this reddish color that hovers like a bad quality video where you kind of see the pixelization float around. Well, when you see like a mirage in your vision, in the you see it change. I don't know if I can affect you like that, but people affect me, and I know when they're connecting with me, connecting, deep, connecting on the fuck button, on it. That's it. And then you kind of can twirl down into that tunnel, and it's this kind of like all those YouTubes with the horny feeling, the sexual chakra emits this kind of orgasmic sensation that has several levels, more or less sexual. Starts with love and a good feeling, and it goes more and more kind of big, like horny. Yeah, you really want to get laid, that kind of thing, feeling. That's the temptation one. Temptation, I'm pulling on your temptation. You need. And people that make you need, those narcissists. That's what the whole joke is, making us need. That was my whole life. Them making me need stuff that kill me. It becomes, okay, those psychoses, you start to notice that with your tongue, your mouth, up in the top of your mouth. In French, we call it the palais. It's the palace, and then the temples. You start noticing this energy. The more you spend time in alpha state of mind, incense. And the cat wanted to come in. All cats are beautiful. I'm a cat. So yeah, the more you spend time in alpha, the more you're in contact with your emotions and your feelings, and a new perception. Your third eye opens when you're in the fifth dimension. Dimension. Even time reacts a different way or doesn't exist. I listened to that not so long ago. I'm learning about occultism and spiritualism because I've been an atheist all my life actually. I didn't want to obey God. And I didn't think that that was the will of God, according to what they say in the Bible. And I grew up in a Christian Spanish brothers, Clariton brothers religious private school for 3 years. And lots of sports, and we had instead of moral education, we'd have religious and moral education. So it was moral according to what the Bible says for a while. So I got to know that story quite well. Well, that's where they put you and put the lid and forget you. That when you're like me, that's well isn't the well like energy, like the water that appears in your belly. Breathed by the belly, something might be cold down there. You might have prana right now. The way somebody says way, it's up here. It's the chest. Breathe forward and up in the chest, and you'll get this cool air. That's the best thing you can ever breathe in your life. It's prana, it's chi, it's all over. It's in the alpha. You can kind of see it. You can use it. You can play with it. You can dig tunnels of net, and with these horny, these lovely wires, like those dryer tubes with the wire inside of it, the rail. The energy hardens up to make a rail like that, a wire. When they say somebody's wired, it's because you have a wire. And all the wire is sinful addiction or temptation. When you go next to the wire, it's temptation. What's the right arm would do, because they had no hand, because they were just taking for a while. What was I supposed to say with that? Yeah. So, anyways, let's go back to psychosis. So you notice what your mind is doing, and you end up when you're like me in some sort of position where you're always it, and you get used to it, and you're always open-minded. Like when you think somebody is observing you, and you kind of don't want to move fast, and you come to move, but you hesitate, and something's keeping you there, attention or something. That's a bit when you're open. That's a bit of alpha mode state. This like kind of animal awareness, where you're a predator all of a sudden, or you're capturing some guy that's checking real slowly, and he grabbed your attention, and then just kept on just dragging a slight subtle movement, just draining you slowly, and just keeping you in contact. Okay, my clients are here, so I have to. I'll cut this video and I come back later. Okay, I'm back. And where was I? I was talking about psychosis and the mental illness of the Christ. Like, yeah, I don't know if the other Jesus was having problems with his head. Where's that drawing I had earlier? Oh, fell on the ground. Yeah, so this is what Madonna portrays as on her album or single Messiah. The Messiah would kind of be compared to this. And it's a bit like that for me anyways. And it's funny how the tattoo is it's not a common font, it's a handmade, a bit weirdly doodled font, as if it had a little bit of a hard time doing the tattoo. And I'm a tattoo artist, and it's just a nice coincidence that her Messiah thing has a tattoo like that. And I've been playing with balls, having people. This is really weird. This is where the crazy stuff, see, crazy in the brains. The crazy stuff comes in with the narcissistic possession and how you become a host kind of thing. That's or a house for those rats and all whatever's evil or narcissistic at least. And it's from I would say I'm not a psychiatrist, but I am convinced that psychiatrists are indoctrinated in order to medicate, not to cure mental illness. They're taught to just sponge the water off the floor, and they don't touch at the hole in the roof. So you keep on sponging and buying sponges. Um, and the episodes I did 3 toxic psychosis, and I've been in depression or depressure kind of system D that they call, which is the camp. It's fascists, right wing, evil people that destroy love, that hide love, and keep its manipulative effects for themselves, and the magic that goes with it for themselves, to dominate all the time, to dominate the economy and all that. And the capitalist system is based a little bit on that predator attitude and that narcissistic possession, or those that toxic relationship of that manipulative state where you become when I was saying you're open-minded, your subconscious becomes printable, and it becomes vulnerable too, depending on how you are. I've always been it and kept open and shit on, and I just didn't give a damn after a while. There wasn't anything I could do, so I said, well, what the heck? I'll just get all the bad words, and they won't really be able to figure out which ones really belong to me and the ones don't whenever they take pictures. So yeah, that's a bit of a slang, the picture taking, kind of when they scapegoat you kind of thing, and try to guess what words affect you and what don't, and which way they do, and by testing all these grocery words and objects and things on you, and to see if they won't find one that you won't like, and to start scaring you or pissing you off with it. If they can piss you off, well, once you're mad, you're focused on them, they hold your nuts. So they just talk to anything, and you think they're talking to you, right? And you just get even more angry. That's how they make psychopaths, by pushing you with the ears. In French, we have this expression. It says "Fais à ta tête, c'est à toi les oreilles." It says go accordingly to your head, because it's your ears. Or be stubborn if you want, it's your ears. As in, you're gonna get the consequences, and it's in your ears that that the consequences are gonna. I hate that thing. The consequences are gonna end up. So the things I noticed in psychosis is, or when they kept you open, is they tried to get you to love destructive things. Narcissists try to kill you, and are in a little mission for fascist, right-wing people, even Nazi. There, some of them, lots of them, might be racist. although we taught them, because they end up loving what punk rock and metal and whatever love has been sent to them, they after time they ended up liking all those things that were opposite to what they meant. A skinhead now has a mohawk, a red mohawk, like an activist punk. So, but skinheads appear in other races now. They're cleaning skinhead out with Asians and skinheads, which should be like that because they used to protect the resistance. They were I don't know if hillbilly is a good word or the roughies that defended people with the ideas until the screwdriver took control of the puppet show and what was going into the subconscient and commanded them into Nazis, racist Nazis, and then they would start beating punks. That's why punks turned into a porcupine to avoid getting hurt while getting beaten. So that narcissistic pressure, when they dominate you, they can put things into your mind that don't belong to you or don't come from you, or they can behave a certain way, and you'll do that same behavior, but it was actually him in your head doing that. That's weird. Yeah, in your head, he does something, but you think that it was your initiative because it's your head that's making you do that. So, but it's actually 2 seconds where this guy popped in there, made you do something, and left, kind of thing. Narcissists can do that, and they can also work their way to this place in your mind where telepathic links are possible. And when they touch, when they touch the phone or the sex chakra, it operates a bit like a phone. And in the black area kind of thing, you can test reflex and muscle changements and mantras and incantations and stuff like that. And then there's, what was I saying? That's my... So yeah, that's all stuff that happens in alpha mode, but they manage to bring you in that place, and they manage to make their way in there and start talking to you with their mind. Then they would first declare those as schizophreniacs. After my first psychosis, the doctor they ended up saying I was a schizophrenic. And I had that a narcissistic schizophrenic. Like, I don't even care about my appearance that much, and I don't decorate a hell of a lot. And sometimes, yeah, I like when I do something good, I'll appreciate myself and I'll valorize myself, and I think I'm really good, that. But I don't show it. I just keep that for myself. I don't need a facade or a store devanture, a window with all my beautiful stuff and that shows it in front of everybody. I'm like a Dalmatian. I got black dots on me, not white ones. I got bad reputation. I've been followed all my life, and it's that narcissistic pressure. The way they put pressure on you to separate your good friends, to separate the apostles. Every good soul is separate. They harass your friends, turn one by one, or they harass you, so you leave the group of friends, and because you're the only one they're bugging, and sometimes they're in your mind bugging you. You look crazy, and then if they command you to say something stupid, you actually do so. When they really take control of your mind. I have a cold, sorry. So yeah, when they take control and dominate you, they can command anything, and you just obey, thinking it was your initiative. And then if they don't get out of that area, and they have the way to get in real fast, they'll always pollute your silent area with voices here and there. Now I'm convinced that since the late changes have happened, some people are starting to get a little demon or a little angel whispering little little words to them, trying to help, and we're giving advice on how to act with this new dimension. People are starting to learn to work with the dimension where magic is possible and telepathy exists, and it's that telepathy that they use to get people crazy. It's narcissists that actually make it in their head and speak. It's not an illness. It's narcissistic possession. And when I made it to the hospital, I wasn't always hearing voices. It was when I was at work, I had this narcissistic pervert creep that sell cocaine, and that was even tattooing like awful on purpose in order to shut down that shop. He was working for the camp for the crew, and then well he'd always pop the mouth hole to me, and he'd bring me home to his home. But it was this haunted place with this thing crawling up your nose all the time. I even managed to get rid of, and then it always pokes your nose every once in a while, and it's just a pain in the ass. But it's stuck that I just don't know how to get rid of it. I've been playing around with it for years, and so they're trying to keep you snorting, and keep you playing around with drugs and partying and drinking, and if they can get you on hard liquor and whatever kills you faster, they'll do it, and they'll always be offering that smoke and forgetting energy drinks at your place, and then showing up with chips and burgers and fast food whenever it's time to eat or whatever, and even poisoning your plants. And they are working. And when you meet one of them, they introduce you to each other. They eliminate your friends, your true good friends, by parasiting them or harassing them intellectually, by just flashing them. And once they know that they have your attention, they start speaking sideways, but while they're speaking to somebody else. But there's a side talk going that only the victim takes, and it affects only that person because she's been called beforehand. So, and then they scare you. They get you word games going, the bird language. So that then they're putting an accent on this and that word and saying them with a funny accent, or pressing a feeling onto it, and then as if they would mean something else. And so a lot of time when you're speaking with the devil, because I've been a marginal, I've sat at the devil's bar all my life, in the well, in the snow den, doing more, and whatever bad hell it could invent for us. I did it. I've been there, done that, and I've been pursued. I've been maintained in drugs. I've been dragged down to heroin, to needles, to crack, uh, and then I was just wondering how I was saying all those things, if I was putting a love accent or not on it. So I did a whole bunch of tryouts. My whole life was basically a big highway, because people would actually cross the street and run at us to offer us some drugs. And we were at a time where people were considering William Blake and the Merry Pranksters, and even afterwards, after the hippie years, it was coming back. But my friends were talking about that, and with the great priests of ecstasy or LSD, and then Timothy Leary, and turn on, tune in, drop out. Well, you have to tune in. You don't have to turn on, but sometimes psychedelics or ganja could help turning on, and lowering and calming and relaxing your body in a meditative state where you can blast music into your mind and use the music to cleanse yourself. Let your body move to the music. It's let the music just go neutral, eyes slack, jaw slack, and let the music check which way the music wants to take you. And it's always this love trail that you always fall off track, but you have to go back on the love trail, and it's all in the dome and all around your back and everywhere. There's this energy and this love that's laying around. And it's people. Some of those scrubs are actually people that crawl. I call them YouTubers. But when all those YouTubers YouTube all the way up to the cockpit, that's when they drive you nuts. This narcissistic occupation that that the pressure, their language, they have a depressive, pejorative way of talking about accidents and illnesses, and then they had this accident happened and blah blah. And so it's music time. Disrupt. So, and then when you start talking about all those problems, people are programmed to not care about what you're saying, or to change subject, or to accuse you of something you don't do, in order to get you to piss all over the place again and start giving them all they need to manipulate you with, kind of thing. And they're always prospecting information, and so or they just don't answer, and like you keep on having this feeling that you're not interested, or they really don't believe you, or they don't give a fuck. And like, how could they not give a fuck about mind control? Even David Bowie was talking about mind control. They do that, and the mental illness that occurs, schizophrenia, it's people that are squatting in your head. They're little love balls and a horny feeling on them. And there's all these trails they use in the maze, and these claws and branches that crawl up your skull, or the energy in your skull. And they're all heterogeneous. They're all and they crawl. They kind of hold your head like that. And all those are trails. And then if they make it up to where the pin on the cap is, and where the inflow comes in, the intake, and then the unicorn, then you can poke the ceiling, see ding, 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 ding. There's something on that love spot on the top of the unicorn. I put music up there sometimes, and it affects everybody. They all go like they're being printed something out. But it's actually all the bad people that are what you feel. That's what they were taking you away from, that love feeling, pretending you were bothering women or kids with that. But because they can get it a bit more horny feeling and manipulate you and create needs with that don't come from you, or create pedophiles, or just by fucking around with their needs and switching the chain and going into their mind and connecting them to little kids and feeling this horny kind of, I don't know what, when you're with kids all the time, you end up becoming a pedophile. But that's mental manipulation. And that's because they change your habits, and they change whenever you fall on your automatic pilot and you're not thinking about what you're doing, and you're daydreaming, kind of when you're sleepwalking. Because a lot of people sleepwalk. They're not awake. They don't have realize. They don't understand that those are real eyes that they tell you. Realize with their real eyes, to realize reality. So psychosis and schizophrenia implicates hallucinations. But the thing is that since they keep you open in order to play with your mind, while your perception grows also. And they actually, and by doing that to you, they kind of make you their boss by spending so much energy, and by putting chains all the time. You just have to grab where the object on what the chain that attracts something beside you, that attracts your attention towards a certain object. There's a chain, so you just look at the object, take what's horny on it, or a love feeling, and you just took his favorite spice, so you can control it with that. So that's what they would do to you, and they would change your needs by dragging your breath down on the table, by like a wolf pack, where they start going blue, and they start getting anxiety because they're always contracting the muscle and blah blah blah, and you're in trouble breathing, and they're right at the right spot. They just bring that hand down, and that's keeping you down all the time. Then they bring you where your needs get fixed, where your heart prints what it wants. So if you do something wrong on the table when your rib cage is at the bottom, and that your first breath you take with your rib cage takes a picture of what's in front of you, and that's what you're gonna need the next time you need something. So you can cheat that and change place or do the right thing and wait till you get off the table before you have your smoke or whatever, your beer or your alcohol or your dope. Yeah, don't do it on the table. Don't look at what you take because you always take a picture of it. So look away, breathe in, and then look back and do what you want or enjoy it. So you don't have that habit that prints in you. That narcissistics can go within your, because you kind of make a tunnel in which we live in. YouTubers, we live in these tunnels, these magic tunnels, like E.T. was in. And they're, sometimes you feel them, I feel them in my eyes. My eyes are like this little net that takes the shape of whatever's in front of me, but I can feel it kind of wraps around it. It's kind of funky, weird, and when your eyes start going numb, and I got these crunches in my eyes again that I have to uncrunch. Those are those kisses. That's what makes you crazy. It affects your eyes, some nervous points around where a crying emotion is, and your jaw. They get blocked by hardened energy, so they keep you into this pattern of movements that is redundant, or this pattern of thoughts that whenever you're gonna make it out of that zone, there's this feeling or pain or something that keeps you from getting out, that unconsciously you avoid. But so with those markers that you unconsciously avoid, that you never feel, or that only your subconscious, and sometimes it's words that they tell your subconscious, you obey those things. And plus, because you don't hear it. The ones I don't hear, I end up obeying. You feel like doing whatever they told you to do, and you do it happily ever after. You've just been ordered something, so you're happy. It's that kind of dictator. Nobody's unhappy because once it's dictated, they're happy about what's happening, even if it's a pain in the ass. So when you're in a commandant position of the unicorn, so they're always after you. So when you're a best, like I was, well, you get separated, well, like I said, from your best friends, and they parasite them, they harass them mentally, psychologically, they scare them away, they're being pricks at them, your girlfriend fights with you all the time, so they stop inviting you. I got a wheelchair as a girlfriend. She was a chaise roulante, who is a redhead. She'd beat me and jump the fence and fuck around whenever I'd go work, and she screwed my life totally over and kept me into freebase, and she paid me that shit for months to make sure I'd stay hooked. And she wanted to steal my kid, and she was stealing a left-wing kid, raising up right-wing capitalist in the bourgeoisie of Beauport. Nice sport, but it's also pork, pig, nice pigs, beautiful pigs. So she doesn't barely ever talk, or she can't stand the voice of a child, with the speech of a child, the eye of my son, the eye of a child. So they're kind of nuts more than we are, actually. And all those mental illnesses, as far as I'm concerned, are things that truly exist, that are induced and created by man, and that are all reversible. And without, you can either use their medication, and a lot of it is efficient in words, but I'm convinced that a therapy, a group with good people with the narcissistic ability to use a host and to control internally, like producers will do with actors. They'll guide you from inside. They'll touch this when you have to move. You'll react when that is touched. And you just touch the phone button and using the phone. People will react when they feel that a lot of times. They'll close it, opens them, so they'll shut it back up by moving or talking. So when you get 20 narcissists in your mind like that, and that they all drag you to where you hear the words, they can really drive you nuts, and they'll see your schizophrenia because they have to block with medication whatever lets those voices, those person talk to you. But that you could just evict those squatters with musical therapy in a group and having other people take those spots in their mind that say something good and that clean up the network. And because you can't say nothing on that, you never know who you're talking to. They'll change their voices. Sometimes it's the CIA to tell you to go the wrong way when you're dancing, to trying to follow the love, to melt down the energy inside of you, the spaghetti, the dough. I call it's like caramel that stretches on these long wheels and with love in them, and then there's these tubes with liquid energy that goes up and falls down, and there's all this elevator system of up and downstairs and underground in the well, and I've been in the well for so long. I put lampposts down there and do maps of hell there, and then I dressed up as the devil. They even call me Satan. I'm the devil. So the devil's not even evil. Satan's me, and Lucifer's that actor, that actor that did Lucifer. So Lucifer is our living man, and he's not evil like the devil. He's an actor. That's how they change. That's how they give birth to entities and to people that are dead by redoing a movie about them and get their spirit living through a new person. So narcissists cause mental illness as far as I'm concerned. And you just have to evict them with grindcore or good music. It takes a while. Dance and therapy will notice that when you go to whichever area in your mind that you're not supposed to hang out for a while, well, the group therapy are gonna make you love and tempt you into another zone of your mind, into maybe alpha state, and make you love something else to change the way, the area in where your consciousness stays inside of you. And then those voices, you can actually plug yourself to your team, your triad, and make sure that only you guys hear what you think about when you want to be heard. You can communicate like that. I've been working on new systems and dynamics to wire people, the good teams together, and since nothing gets lost, nothing gets created, everything gets transformed. Well, as the Word of God now transformed. Yeah, everybody's transforming and mutating into something better since they assimilated the whole in the mouth. So the whole world's getting an update, might be. And yeah, so that's my opinion about what you might call psychiatric. Because sometimes they're really bugging you and you get mad about this thing that's happening. You can shout and talk to yourself. I had this voice telling me to talk to myself whenever I'd spot somebody showing up on the sidewalk. I wouldn't see the person. My subconscious would see the person and immediately tell me, talk to yourself. So I'd start saying stuff. And then you're always in a bad mood when you're talking to yourself because you're fighting against something in your mind. So you always get caught by these people speaking to yourself in the middle of the sidewalk. So and they hide behind that because once they manage to put you the etiquette, that the tag that you're crazy, nobody listens to you, and everybody discards what you say and take pity and don't really listen. They just act kind and avoid you as much as they can, and it really isn't. It really is the best way to shut some people up is to drive their nuts, drive them nuts. That's why there was so much LSD during the Vietnam War, the Jacob's Ladder. It was getting people closer to psychiatry and crazy stuff. But it's actually narcissistic pressure. And when you see a dealer, the dealer kisses you something and raises your back and drops two little balls on the back of your spine, and those, when you hit those, they drag you to this kind of a spiral that links objects to money, to your coat, to spoons, to veins, to needles. It keeps you in this spiral of reminding you all the time to get high. It plugs you in a réseau, a network. There are different networks. The black tags are portals towards the downward spiral, where the camp and the rappers and all the taggers and that gang will make you you'll appear kind of somewhere and they'll see you. One of them was going to become you, and they'll know how you react and when for what. They either get that person to do the opposite or make you do mistakes. So you start smoking at the other end, and then you get all messed up. Something's happening, and then you end up with all those bad habits that whenever you were calling the right person or attracting the right person's attention and linking to good people and to a strong team, well, they will get you used to linking to shovels and bees and bad people and porks, pigs, and sheep and cows and whatever. Bad or pervert people that are narcissistic and dominant, that fuck around with you, and bug you or harass you, or they're unpleasant. So your routine and your sequence of helpers changes, and you end up calling the wrong people or attracting the wrong person's head and getting him to call you and ending up somewhere else in another house. That tag system, when it wraps around your eyes, because when you're loose and you kind of enter that passageway in that world. So in that world, you'll be turning your head and noticing dealers, panhandlers, prostitutes. That's when you trust your autopilot. You're only noticing ashtray smokes, deadly stuff, and drugs, and that's what your pilot takes you. When you get out of daydreaming, you open your eyes when you have death all the time, or someone that could help you die. So, and then there's the road signs that takes you to the city level, with the Law and the Eye Act. Then there's the flowers that takes you with the women. The trees takes you with the resistance. The red tags takes you with anti-fascist resistance. There's a whole bunch of key elements. The sky sometimes changes. But in order to affect everyone, you have to be high on top. You have to be a hi-hat like I am. Hi-hat. So I hope you like the hi-hat. The Christ is crazy and all wired up. With the amount of roses up here, and this whole manoir, this whole hotel is hell. Hell, see who glows when I say hell? It's me. I'm hell. I'm Satan. I'm Jesus. I'm God. So I love you. Take care. Have fun. May time be of release for you, and that you have fun working, and that you enjoy your days, and you don't see time pass by if you don't want to, and that you can enjoy the better moments in a better way, and you have more time for yourself and everything that I could possibly imagine. So take all these blessings and take care of you. We're in a revolution right now, and it's the whole world switching upside down. So we're going to be printing lots of changes, and things are going to be changing in the future. Everybody's changing. We're all changing. I've taken my resolutions for New Year's and all that. So I don't want to really play Christ that much, but I do. Music does call me Jesus Christ and God. So French music at least. And the clicker never lies. I always click on the clicker, and I always have the buzzer. So, Comandante, inspire. I wish you to be inspired and to find love and what you need, and to work on your problems in an easy way, in a fun way, and that you will enjoy the fact that you are going to change in order to counter the prophecy, apocalyptic prophecy of the Arch of Noah's Ark. That might happen pretty soon with the meltdown. It won't be rain, it's going to be melting down, but we're going to be submerged. Somebody's going to need an arch. So we have to break that prophecy. That's what I would say if I be Jesus. Break Noah's prophecies. Quit writing stupid prophecies that end the world. Those actually come true. Those mantras, those words, when you spell, those are real spells, the words coming out of your mouth. You have the power. It's inside of you. You have to look within yourself, to find your way, and to build your way. Rub it with music. Let your body move to the music. Dance. Make exercise. Feel the energy inside of you, the spaghetti, the caramel, the candy, the molten mercury. Mercury melts your brain down, and sulfur and salt to get everything all smooth, slick and going. So yeah, it's a funny feeling. So this has been a long video. I'm not convinced everybody's gonna listen for so much. I hope I didn't make too much of a fool of myself, but I am crazy. We are all mad here, and sometimes I speak by myself. And I'm not schizophrenic anymore. Once they managed to keep me away from my daughter for 5 years with that diagnosis, then they said, okay, it's been a long time enough. Her young period is gone, so she's old enough to see his father, her father, man, even if it's weird. So they've always been taking her down from me and making me look awful and all that. The KKK took my baby away. That's what happened to Jesus. And he met a wheelchair. This is this destructive bitch that destroys all her friends and transforms all her friends into pigs, like Cersei in the circus, in the zoo, that drags you to the zoo and the gangster land where they all fuck you and try to hook you with John Lee Hooker. They're trying to hook Johnny on the Jones and Doe, Dow Jones. So I learned the war language. I vanquished the kisses, the most deadly kisses. I faced my worst fear, the demon, this summer in July. Thus I am the king. So peace, love, harmony, and don't let fun kill you.